welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The second chapter of Matthew reads in part, Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. This amazing testimonial to the redeeming power of God to deal with people from every background and station in life stands as a monument greater than our Statue of Liberty, shining its beacon light of love and hope to the Gentiles. These scientists, for so the biblical term for them may be translated, were powerfully prevailed upon to undertake a long, possibly hazardous journey, bringing valuable gifts to an unknown child at the guidance of a star. But maybe we shouldn't wonder, for long centuries before their journey, Balaam said of him, There shall come a star out of Jacob, and the scepter shall rise out of Israel. Jesus is the bright and morning star, the dayspring from on high, who hath visited us. Great men send important ambassadors to usher visitors into their presence for royal hearing. The God of heaven, far beyond human power, used a star. One has to suppose these heathen men, however learned in the lore of their own country and culture, could hardly have expected they were fulfilling Isaiah's prophecy. All they from Sheba shall come, they shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of the Lord. And yet the gifts they presented were gold and frankincense and myrrh, which is to say, money itself and the valuable things money can buy. Joseph's trade was carpentry. While that was and is an honorable craft, carpenters in Israel typically were not wealthy men. How Mary and Joseph must have been astonished to have these august visitors, all anticipated, come to do homage to a baby and to lay before them the means necessary for their journey from Bethlehem home, and even for the emergency flight to Egypt they were soon to take. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh were the valuable resources to be found in these travelers' own country, and the selection of gifts they brought shows us we should use that with which God favors us to honor him. What a unique position was theirs. In later years, others would come to Jesus for healing of leprosy, blindness, dropsy, for raising the dead even, and many for his teachings. These men were of great learning. They came for none of these things. They came to see a baby, win a smile from his mother, shake hands with a carpenter. Instead of receiving anything or even expecting it, they came when he was helpless to be the first in the history of the world to give gifts to him. How remarkable that these Gentiles had first this vision, although he was born in a land where he was surrounded by learned people who had been schooled for centuries to anticipate just this event, and yet who seemed to have no interest in it. Jesus is no longer with us in the physical presence of his manhood, but it is still a great honor to bring him our best, just as these visitors of long ago. The age of his infancy is long since past, and when we bring him our best, we need have no fear that we can outgive him any more than we can love him more than he us. The fact of three kinds of gifts being named have led some to suppose that there were but three wise men, although the Bible doesn't say. Gold was a gift used to honor kings. Frankincense was used to make incense. It has a pleasant aromatic fragrance. But isn't it natural when we think of it coming so far to be given to the Lord himself, to think of prayers being offered to God? Both frankincense and especially myrrh were used in embalming the dead. The drink Jesus was offered while on the cross, and which he would not drink, was composed of wine and myrrh, which had a medicinal and narcotic effect. The gifts make us think of Jesus being a king with his royal birth. Have you talked to him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.